On the evening of October 2025, Jungkook unexpectedly appeared on Weverse after weeks of silence since his military discharge. Without any prior announcement or live stream, he simply posted a short message. "You waited, now the new era begins."
No emojis.
No follow-up, just a single sentence, and it instantly sent the entire fandom into chaos. For the first 2 minutes, the platform seemed frozen. Fans didn't scream, they paused. The words were too intentional, too heavy. After over 2 years of waiting for BTS's full return, that sentence felt loaded. Armies began analyzing every letter like investigators solving a confidential case. Within 5 minutes, thousands of comments appeared. Some fans believed this was a confirmation of BTS's first group activity post-military. Others argued it was connected to Jungkook's pending solo international campaign with Calvin Klein. But a darker theory also emerged. What if this new era wasn't about music at all? Some fans expressed fear, not excitement. The phrase "new era" sometimes implies change, and Jungkook is known for reinventing himself drastically. Fans started questioning, is Jungkook planning something completely different for music? Is he shifting industries? Or is he signaling a bigger evolution of BTS? By Chapter 5 of this unfolding storm, Korean news outlets began reporting Jungkook's post as breaking news. Articles were published within 30 minutes, speculating whether this message was connected to HYBE's rumored October strategic announcement. The media did not dismiss the possibility of a full BTS comeback. As global time zones awakened, armies in the US, Europe, and Southeast Asia flooded Weverse with hundreds of thousands of replies. The phrase "new era" trended #1 worldwide on X, Twitter. American fanbases began archiving every recent HYBE staff movement, livestream hint, and industry insider cryptic speech. Fans noticed that several HYBE staff members recently followed Jungkook again on Instagram. Some were from the same production team that worked on Butter and Permission to Dance. Others were linked to global advertising campaigns. This turned the mystery from emotional to investigative. Veteran armies noted the familiar pattern. This was exactly how BTS teased the map of the Seoul era. Simple, poetic, and undeniably deliberate. The wording "you waited" felt deeply personal, as if acknowledging the emotional weight of Army's patience since military enlistment began. HYBE did not delete, clarify, or respond to Jungkook's post. This silence, intentional or not, raised the stakes. When HYBE ignores something, it is usually because they want the speculation to grow. The fanbase began to genuinely believe the comeback clock has started ticking. As midnight approached, an indescribable energy filled the fandom.
No confirmation. No denial.
Just one line from Jungkook sitting on the world's most watched platform. The silence felt like the breath before a storm, the moment before history begins. And everyone could feel it. K-pop industry analysts began joining live radio broadcasts in South Korea, stating that Jungkook's timing was too precise to be casual. They pointed out that October 2025 marks the final quarter before year-end award shows, historically the most strategic moment for major comebacks. Some analysts even suggested that Jungkook's message might be the first official internal signal before HYBE makes a press release. Armies began debating intensely in the comment section. Two major factions emerged. Those convinced "new era" refers to BTS returning as 7, and those fearing it may signal a permanent solo-dominant direction. The emotional intensity skyrocketed. Excitement, fear, hope, and panic collided in real time. Translators noted that Jungkook's choice of phrasing in Korean carried a tone of promise, not departure. It was not cold, not distant. It felt like he was speaking directly to the fans who waited faithfully, almost as if rewarding loyalty. This eased some global panic and restored cautious optimism. Fans began pulling up Jungkook's past military-era posts looking for patterns. Some noticed that his last 3 updates all contained phrases about finishing, countdown, and now beginning. Suddenly, everything Jungkook had posted since early 2025 began to look like a carefully planned timeline, not random social media updates. Billboard and Rolling Stone picked up the story just hours later, not as a rumor, but as a serious indicator of what could be the largest comeback moment in modern K-pop history. The global news shift from idol update to music industry alert officially changed the energy of the conversation worldwide. Korean paparazzi reported unusual nighttime activity at HYB's headquarters. Cafe lights on at 2 a.m. Studio wings silently active. Security higher than normal. A delivery truck was spotted entering the building, rumored to be transporting visual set construction materials. It was as if preparations had already started before Jungkook posted. Fans discovered that RM, Jimin, and Taeyong had all posted poetic or nostalgic messages within the past 72 hours, each one subtly themed around time, memory, or completion. When viewed together, Jungkook's post looked less random and more like the fourth piece of a silent digital puzzle. Veteran ARMY accounts revived a legendary theory from the 2020 era: the belief that BTS always announces major returns through emotional signaling rather than promotional wording. Fans began circulating an old quote from Jungkook himself: "We always warn you before we change the world." Suddenly, this Weverse message began to feel exactly like that warning. Fans noticed that the HYB Japan and HYB America teams quietly updated their internal social media dashboards, moving things into standby mode. This almost always happens right before global push campaigns. Nothing was posted publicly yet, but the machinery was clearly moving behind the curtain. By the time dawn approached in Seoul, one terrifyingly beautiful realization had taken over the entire global fandom. Jungkook did not post an update. He pulled the first trigger, and with a single sentence, he may have just started the opening sequence to the greatest return BTS has ever made. Former staff members who previously worked with BTS began quietly messaging fanbase accounts, hinting that HYB had initiated top-level security protocols used only during major announcements. They described restricted floor access, last-minute NDAs, and blocked network signals within specific rooms, a clear indication that something major was already in internal motion. High-level fanbase trackers started monitoring airline manifests and event venue bookings across Seoul, Los Angeles, and Tokyo. Shockingly, there were recent confidential bookings under HYB operational aliases, consistent with how BTS secretly booked Grammy venues in the past. Fans now believed a global live announcement could be imminent, in under 8 hours. Jungkook's single-line post became the most commented Weverse message of all time. No photo.
No emoji.
Just words. Fans suddenly realized the sheer power of Jungkook's presence, not as an idol posting an update, but as a signal flare capable of mobilizing millions without a single promotional push. A well-known Korean music critic posted, "In every revolution, silence ends before sound begins." He did not mention BTS or Jungkook by name, yet every ARMY understood immediately. A famous PD, producer-director, followed up with a quote, "History always begins quietly." The industry was speaking in riddles, just like BTS always does. What started as a Weverse update had now become a global trending wave across 70-plus nations, surpassing even major tech and political news. Brazilian, Indonesian, American, French, and Arab armies began mass translating the sentence in thousands of cultural interpretations, creating unified emotional anticipation worldwide. Some ex-trainees linked to HYB shared online that they were always told a global reset would begin after military enlistment, and that BTS's return wouldn't just be a comeback, but a restructuring of the global music ecosystem itself. Jungkook's wording, "New era," suddenly grew even heavier in meaning.